Alright. Welcome back, everybody. It's the man of the hour down here in the bottom right side. Recently picked up by Cloud9, Gumiho. Looking like an absolute monster lately. This is the most creative Terran player in the world. When everybody else plays standard, he finds a way to play creative. He uses strategy where other players use mechanics. He uses weird tech switches and non-ideal cheesy build orders, as of course macro versions would call it. But he is the cheesy Terrans, the creative Terrans hero. It's Gumiho in the bottom right, Kira in the top left, and this is a game from GSL. And you're going to want to hang around to see this build order that Gumiho brings out, because it's just something we've occasionally seen in TVT, but usually not quite like this. And there's a few impacts of the new balance patch, which really makes this strategy excel even more, not to mention just the surprise factor. Now, to start off, this is already weird. He's building his barracks outside of his base, whereas Q is going for proxy barracks. So he's doing a 2x Reaper aggression, but trying to make it look like it's a normal build if Gumiho scouts with an SCV. And Gumiho is going to go scout, and that might backfire because he's going to have Q build Reapers here and come in and start to try and gank, essentially, Gumiho's SCVs. Luckily, Gumiho's doing a one base opening. If he was going for a factory, for a command center, he'd be screwed right now. But he goes factory. He does start pulling off gas, though. If he builds that command center on the low ground at 2 minutes 20, it'll be easy pickings for Q as Reapers. TVT, normally not the most exciting matchup. Well, actually, I'd say TVT is one of the most interesting mirrors, actually. But for a lot of non-Terran players, they go, oh, I don't like it. Just tanks and Marines staring at each other. I don't really understand it. Don't worry, guys. This is a Gumiho TVT. Much like when you see Serral vs. Raynor and Zerg vs. Zerg, and you go, strap yourself in. It's something special. When Gumiho plays this matchup, he does it very well. And he's actually scouted this. Dude, look at that. Very good preparation by him. So he's going to go command center on the high ground. And he's going to raise his wall. He's already got the Reaper there. Second Reaper's almost out. He's building a Hellion. Lowers the depot, raises it. He hasn't started the command center just yet. He's just saying, no, Reapers and Hellions, Reapers and Hellions. That's all I need for now. Oh my god, his Reaper's a little far up front. Whoa! Did you see what he just did, guys? Oh my god. Okay, I need to rewind that and show you guys exactly what we just saw. Gumiho just did a genius move. You are not meant to fight 1v2, but I got to rewind this right now and show you what he did. He is right now hiding underneath the command center. If you try to click on the Reaper there, you can't click on it because of the orbital dish. Unless you scroll your screen to the very edge, then you can click there. So if he tried to target that Reaper, Q would accidentally attack the command center. That is a disgustingly smart little bit of micro for Gumiho. I haven't seen people do that before. I've seen people hide Widow Mines there so you can't notice the little mark on the ground. But I haven't seen someone actively micro a unit underneath the radar dish on the orbital. So he kills the two Reapers, keeps his alive, only loses one SCV, starts his command center. Yes, it's a little late, but he's had a fantastic start. And not only that, he's proxying a starport on the other side of the map. And this is a reaction, guys. So he saw the barracks, and then he put back on gas, and he's gone for a proxy starport to counter his opponent's two barracks play. Why? Because he knows, well, with this play, your factory and starport's a little bit later. Oh, trying to run up the ramp, a little bit risky there. But he gets an SCV kill. He wants the Reaper as well. Oh, bit of an overcommitment for Gumiho. Does make a mistake. And he's going to lose a few of those units. One Reaper does survive. But nonetheless, does delay that SCV, building that depot. You can see there that Q actually misclicked his SCV on the barracks. So he's not building that. He's going to hit a supply block in a moment. He actually is supply blocked right now. Q are not realizing the supply block, that misclick costing him. And behind us, we've got a fusion core. It is a proxy battlecruiser that Gumiho is doing reactively to take advantage of an opponent who went two barracks, delayed their factory and starport. Not only that, they're spending all their gas on Reapers, but the new Cyclone is no longer as powerful as the old Cyclone. Obviously, you can build more of them faster. They're still okay, but most people still only build one or two Cyclones in the early game. Oh, Cyclone versus Cyclone lock-ons. Good micro here by Gumiho. He just needs to make sure he doesn't lose his Cyclone. Good micro, though. He keeps his SCV alive. Nice lock-ons by Cure. But at the end of the day, units lost tab almost 2-1 in his favor. So like I said, most people still only build 1 to 2 Cyclones. And because they're only about half as strong as anti-air units as the old Cyclone, a Battlecruiser is going to be so hard to stop. Because he's already going Ravens and tanks, which means he's just going to have Marines and a single Cyclone to shoot up. If Gumiho could kill that Cyclone, that would be amazing. He might just win the game with his first Battlecruiser if that's the case. Of course, there is Interference Matrix and Ravens coming in, so they can lock down the Battlecruisers. The problem is that only locks them down from attacking for a certain amount of time. They can just pull back and then go back in. If you don't have damage to capitalize on that window, then you find yourself in deep, deep waters. So Gumiho already showing amazing micro, hiding behind the radar dish. Now he's going proxy Battlecruiser reactively after scouting his opponent's proxy, countering a proxy with a proxy. He's got the 300 IQ plays. And this is why I really feel like Gumiho is one of the closest things you get to like a Florencio style player at actual top tier pro level. For those who don't know, Gumiho beat Maru a couple times this year in Premier tournaments. He beat him in GSL. He beat him in the ESL Masters in Jönköping in Sweden. He's an absolute beast. He's had massive wins over the best players in the world. And I think Hero as well had like, I think Hero had like an 85% win rate versus Gumiho, and then Gumiho beat him a few times. Maru had a 93% win rate and then lost in 2 of the Premier tournaments to him. So Gumiho this year is really coming into his own. And I think with the new balance patch, new maps, a shake-up in things, he's one of the fastest players to pick up on how to take advantage. Here we go. Battlecruiser coming in. There is not much that shoots up there. And notice he can kite the Marines as well. So the Marines come forward. They do not do much damage because he's got 3 armor. So they only do 3 damage a shot on their crappy little Gauss rifles. But he's being very cautious. He doesn't want to give away free lock-on damage, I guess, with that Battlecruiser. And I think he's hoping the Cyclone comes out so he can kill it. Hellion Cyclone Mech on the way. He's got a 3rd base and extra factories building. 2nd Battlecruiser and Yamato is on the way right now. He's going to go for the siege tank on the high ground. Quick on siege for Cure. Cyclone, you can see, not quite locking on. Oh! To be fair, even if that was one of the old Cyclones, it would have struggled to lock on there because it's the same lock-on range, I believe. Battlecruiser pulling back to the right side. Oh, but look at this. He's just juking him back and forth, back and forth. Gumiho looking for pickoffs on these siege tanks. He's happy to just kill whatever he can. Notice he's being really conservative. For him, it's all about the recyclability of these units. No medevac to pick up the siege tank to dodge Yamato there. So the siege tank gets blasted. Second one comes in on the natural. Uh-oh. Q has already lost 1 tank. He's about to lose the second one. Battlecruiser gets interference matrix, but all that does is buy you time. Meanwhile, the Cyclone in the main, you can see it's trying to damage it, but it just doesn't do as much damage. And you need more of them. If you build 3 or 4 Cyclones, then it's like having 2 of the old Cyclones, and it really shuts it down. But with the Vikings out, Q, it does stabilize for now. Extra 3rd Battlecruisers on the way. The 2 BCs grouping up in the north. Hellion Cyclone still trying to gather their forces, and immediately gasses on the 3rd. Gumiho bringing out a super cool play right now. He's a little oversaturated on his natural, but he's finally getting that production up. And these Battlecruisers still have work left. There's 3 Ravens out. They do have 2 Matrixes available, but another siege tank goes down to that Yamato. 3rd Battlecruiser is going to be rallying in momentarily. You've got a few Vikings. Vikings can outrange the Battlecruisers, but you've got to be really cautious about the Yamato taking out the siege tanks and then being vulnerable on the ground, because all you've got is a few Marines and Cyclones. You're trying to make a stim there. 2nd and 3rd barracks are on the way. The double upgrades should be starting soon for Cure, but of course he's on the back foot. He's trying to hang on. And what is going on? Hellion Cyclone on the right. 3 Battlecruisers grouping up for a run by on the left. There are a few turrets, and he doesn't know about them, but he's going to scan, and he's going to be like, okay. Oh, wait. He's looking for the correct angle. Okay, so Gumiho's... Oh, he sees the whole army's on the right, so he's going to do a Hellion run by. Smart move there. Gumiho using scan, driving into the base. Oh, the whole army's going to try to pull over. The SCV's trying to get out of there. Hellion's causing a good bit of damage, and that leaves the tanks exposed. That leaves the tanks exposed on the right side of our screen. All 3 siege tanks get down, 2 Yamatos as well. These Hellions are going to be derping around a little bit, but that's okay. Cyclone's going to come forward and try to take out the Ravens. He's going to get a Raven. Oh, not quite. Doesn't get a Raven, but Interference Matrix has to get used on those Cyclones there. No Battlecruisers going down, and he's actually forcing out a lot of the energy. 7 SCVs go down as well. Behind it, 4th and 5th factories on the way. And Gumiho, he is stopping at 3 Battlecruisers for now. He's making Hurricane Thrusters, guys. That's the speed upgrade for the Cyclones. He's making Blue Flame. Double Armories on the way, and a 4th Command Center. He's also at 72 workers versus 57. So while Q has a really good answer to the Battlecruisers, I think Gumiho just swaps into a mech army, and now the Battlecruisers, rather than being a big scary thing, they're more of just a harassment force. I love that he's using scans to try to find where the weak points are. Thinks about going in there, but with the Matrixes available, it's really hard to do so. This is such a cute build for Gumiho. I love this. And he's got the siege tanks in range of the command center now. He's just outside of range of that tank. Forcing it to lift. Behind it, he's got so much tank production. Notice the add-ons are building. Going to be at 5 factory production in a sec. And another Hellion run by comes down that left side. The Bio tries to stim to deal with it, but you can't be affording more economic damage. Gumiho's already on 82 workers. He's so happy to trade Hellions for SCVs, and he gets 11 workers. You're kidding me. That is so many. So many workers. More turrets are building behind this. We've got a 4th command center. Starport's actually floating home, funnily enough. Yamato's going down. Oh, he takes out a few of the Vikings. Okay, Matrix does stop that 3rd Yamato from completing. I think you do get it refunded, though, the cooldown, if it doesn't actually fire. Let's find out in a moment. Is that icon all colorful? Yes, it is. So we can Yamato again. Liberator's going to force this back. I love that Gumiho's built turrets on the front, so his battlecruisers can actually kind of pull into that. Another Yamato goes down. Matrix cancels it again, but he's got mass SCVs repairing on the front lines. He's got a literal repair station siege going outside his base. You don't see pro gamers contain each other with tricky strategies like this normally. Oh, bit of a misstep for Gumiho. Does lose a couple of units, but not too bad. 4th command center is going out. I mean, who the hell? This is like some real Bronze League hero stuff. I'm building turrets outside your base. I've got SCVs on the front repairing. Did he send the SCVs back, by the way? Where are they? Oh, no, they're up there. Slight mistake. Those SCVs need to be brought on to heal that battlecruiser. 2 more factories coming in right now for Gumiho, as well as an engineering bay behind this, so that he can build turrets. His bases are pretty nicely saturated. He is missing workers on 1 gas there. And you can see he's just very focused on figuring out where his opponent is and finding weakness. And Q is just like, okay, I cannot stop building Vikings. But look, there's Thors on the ground, which is so smart. So he's using Thors to beat the Liberators. He's basically saying, look, my battlecruisers, I can't win this air fight. Cyclones aren't that great anti-air, but if I get Thors, swap him into high-impact payload, which he hasn't done yet, but I guarantee you he will. He'll swap into that 250mm Punisher cannons. For those who don't know, they use zippers to keep those, actually. So he's going to unzip the fly on those big Punisher cannons, and those big boy Thors are going to pull those out. 5th command center going up on that base as well. 87 workers versus 69. He might wait for 1-1 upgrades, but he might just shove in. He's actually got the numbers, dude. 8 tanks versus 4. 4 tanks can't really hold on. There's not much bio. So much investment in Viking Raven to stop the battlecruisers. But can you stop the rest of the army? A couple of Yamatos go down. A few more Vikings do get sniped. Gumiho enacting a delicious battlecruiser tax on his opponent. And Kua wants a 4th base, but look at the resources lost. 2.5 times the efficiency for Gumiho in this game, and he is just keeping his opponent pinned on way less bases than him. He's waiting for those extra upgrades. The battlecruisers want to come forward again. There are a lot of interference matrices available. 1, 2, 3, 4, soon to be 5. Ah, man, that's powerful. So they can shut down tanks, Thors, or battlecruisers, depending on what you choose to target. There is enough Vikings now, I believe, to deal with all this. There's 6 Vikings building at a time. The thing is, he's going to need Liberators, right? He doesn't have enough bio to really defeat the ground army. He's trying to make a mass air army. Gumiho's just going to shove in. He says, well, there's only 2 tanks in range. I can beat that. His SCVs are repairing in the middle of combat. Nice interference matrices come down. Battlecruisers try to flank on the right side. They're trying to pull back. He realizes those Vikings are coming after him. He's going to teleport away before he gets matrixed. He teleports to the left. He says, lol, come and deal with this. Now you have to chase the battlecruisers through those Thors, and that's where things get problematic. The Punisher cannons are out. The Thors, look at how long that anti-air range is. They are blasting down the Vikings, but nice move with the Viking Raven. They're going to get rid of the battlecruisers. More SCV damage was done here, but let's be real. Cure is doing an amazing job of hanging on. He gets rid of one of the battlecruisers. He forces the whole ground army back. Yes, he loses some SCVs, but he did some SCV damage himself. I guess that was the SCVs that were repairing all going down. Trying to build 4 Thors at a time right now is Gumiho. And look at this, the Thors. They can gun these down. I think having one of them in splash damage mode might be nice just because those Vikings are so clumped. Trying to counterattack right now. This is a really scary counterattack. The battlecruisers are going to go for a run by for Gumiho. He needs more tanks. He's going to pull SCVs to the front line. He's mostly on Thor Hellbat versus mass landed Viking Liberator. What even is this game? Kua going for an opportunistic counterattack. I love this decision. Battlecruisers are intercepting the rally point though, cleaning up the Marines and tanks that are rallying across. That's a problem. The Thor's coming out. Can they break this tank line? No, they can't. Gumiho's going to lose his 3rd base. He's losing 2 factories out there as well. Trying to build some more of his own tanks. He was so worried about the air army, he ended up on very heavy Thor, but he can't let these tanks get ramp control. Sending some Hellions out right now as well. Battlecruiser's trying to come back. Another Thor gets picked off here. The Marauder's doing okay. The tank on the high ground's going to siege up to try to hang on. Gumiho's still trying to fall back, but these tanks for Cure are marching forward so quickly, man. The Thor's getting pushed back. One of them did go down. Oh, that tank on the high ground really helping limit the space. Cure can only really work on the top angle. SCV's trying to mass repair, but the tanks shoot one of those Thors down very quickly. Hellions look for a run by. They don't get in time. Sensor Tower finds it. Cure is going to clean that up. Cure's back in this game. Oh, no. Gumiho did such a genius opening, but it did not capitalize. He went a bit too deep on the aggression, and this was so smart. Notice Cure didn't make any more ground upgrades. He realized upgrades don't really matter that much in Bioverse Mech. It's more about dealing with their units. Oh, the battlecruisers do find the tanks, though. The Battlecruisers find the tanks. I thought Kua had this in the bag now because his supply is so much bigger, but he's going to lose all of these tanks. Oh, the Battlecruisers from the early game. 22 kills on one, 14 kills on another. Those are Terran units as well. These are not Zerg units. They are very expensive. Still being forced to mass Vikings is Kua. The supply is dead even. The economy is still very similar. Gumiho still has a base there. He's re-landing that command center. He can keep transferring workers. He's been pulled off gas a lot, which is a problem. Gets a few tank volleys down. The Battlecruiser tax has been fantastic, but Kua has closed the gap a little bit. Only behind 2,000 resources in the units lost now. He's going to send Liberator Harass out on the map, but Gumiho's been pretty good with a few turrets spread around his bases. As you can see, the Liberator Harass not able to find its way in. I think he knew that Kua would try stuff like that, not to mention drops. Tanks coming there. Good siege up. It's hard for Kua. He just doesn't have any siege tanks right now. I don't know why he's not building any. I guess he just keeps spending his money on air units. He's trying to do this while the tanks are on siege, but he doesn't quite have the numbers to break through. And the 2-2 for the mech actually is a big problem. Liberator's coming in behind right now. This game is absolute chaos. What a barn burner of a match here. Liberator's coming in and sieging that base. We've got the units pulling north as well. Tanks, Thors, Hellbats Hellions trying to push forward on the counter. Losing control of one mining base doesn't really matter because Gumiho has control of so many expansions, whereas for Kua, every base is very important. Unfortunately, Kua Siege is in range of the turret. He'll only take out one SCV before he loses that unit. And Kua's on the right. He's got a few Vikings on the left. He's still just going pure Viking bio. And no siege tanks at all. And that's why these siege tank positions are so powerful. Battlecruisers are going to teleport home. He doesn't want to bother losing them. He's like, nah, just go home, repair. These Battlecruisers have been so good for me all game. Why would I throw them away now? And he's going to repair them up. Unfortunately, accidentally sends a Battlecruiser across the map. So it looks like he's bringing more repair SCVs forward, whether on purpose or not. And Kua's got to tap out, dude. No way. He tries to drop there, but look at his position. He's lost his third. Tanks and Hellbats in range of that phase. Over on the left, if we rewind a few seconds, it looks like these units are getting chased down as well. And yeah. I mean, he's got barely any minerals over there. He's just outnumbered. What a cool build. I love that Kua almost made it happen with that counterattack. We have Thors versus landed Vikings War. That is sick. I hope you enjoyed this game. If you're enjoying games like this, please let me know, and I'll be sure to post more really, really cool strategies. So let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye and good night.